Good afternoon, color adventurers. I am Mia Luyanda with Badass Art. We're back this afternoon working on our little portrait here from Botany Bay. We've been working on the peonies and also on the hair. And we've been using our Black Widow skin sets as well as a few pencils from the Indra Morandi set, I believe. So without further ado, we'll jump right back into it, and I will introduce the pencils as we grab them. And let's see. I decided to come back in and do the other side of her hair. When I left yesterday, I didn't have it quite this lush, I suppose, and I thought, well, let me go back in and let you follow along with me just to build those layers so that you can see how I kind of built up this depth. Hair can sometimes be tricky, and I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So when we left yesterday, we were using the Black Widow skin tones and the dark set. And this one is called Chalk Tone. It's kind of a dark brown. And we were also using, I think, Mud, which is kind of a warm brown. We were also using Cinnamon, I believe. Yes, Cinnamon. Just kind of, well, it's just exactly what it says. It's kind of a cinnamon color. And then from our skin tone light, we were using Carrot. So, I'm going to start with Cinnamon. And you can see I had sort of started right up here. Let me get the camera to focus. I'm just kind of going in and, when you're layering colors for hair, you kind of think about how our own hair looks. We've got so many different shades and highlights, and when the sun hits our hair, it looks different than when we're under artificial lights. And so all of those things come into play when you're trying to build a realistic portrait. And I enjoy doing auburn hair for the simple reason that there are so many different colors in it. You can really, it's hard to go wrong with auburn hair. It's so pretty. And I'm just trying to, just sort of grab and pull some different tones. And don't worry too much about, oh, did I get the color in the right spot? Because, as we build these layers up, everything just kind of falls into place. You'll see. We're in this together. I'm going to switch over to the Carrot. And still, I'm just kind of doing those wispy strokes. I'm not really just kind of that grab and pull thing, just like, some long, like really long lashes. You just kind of adding little wisps of color. You don't really want anything, too terribly overdone. It's just Nice and easy. Get the chalk tone, and I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite color pencils since I got this set. I've used it on a couple of portraits, you know, in the shadow areas and on the lashes, and it's a very, very versatile color. Well, obviously we've used it in some really nice auburn and brunette hair, so yeah, it's proven to be a very very usable, very it's a really a good color for this skin tone set. I'm very pleased with it. You know, I'm all about believable colors and things that can be used in more than one place. And there's no rhyme or reason to where I'm adding these colors. I'm just kind of grabbing them and pulling them down, just because, you know, in our hair, like I said, we've got a lot of different colors. As you do more, you know, it'll get easier. It'll be like, oh yeah, this looks good here, or oh, I don't really like the way those two colors work together. It'll, you know, as your style develops, and it will, you know, you'll figure out things that work good for you. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the carrot color. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch over to our Indra Morandi colors, and I really like this color also. It is IV001. I'm just going to kind of come in here and do a little bit of filling. And you can see every time we add a new color, we just kind of get a little bit more depth. And then just doing the same thing here, just kind of randomly placing colors. I wouldn't call it haphazardly, but there's really not a lot of structure to it right now either. And I'm going to switch over to this nice creamy color. I am 008. I'm just adding a little bit of highlight right here in the front. You can see how that kind of blends. It just sort of kind of gets blurry right here. And that's kind of the difference between an oil and a wax pencil. These are wax pencils, and you can just kind of grab and blend those colors in. They just sort of smear into each other. Just like that. The thing about shadows and highlights, you can't have one without the other. You have to have dark to see light. And I know that sounds, but it's the truth. To have a really nice highlight, you have to have a really good shadow underneath it. For something to really show up, you've got to have one and the other. You've got to balance it out. So that just takes time and practice. And remember, the leaves are going to be, folding into this, so, getting it 100% like finished is not imperative. We're going to have a lot of stuff, kind of winding its way in, and we're going to have some, undertones of green through here too. So, just to kind of mess with it until it feels comfortable, until it feels, like, oh yeah, I kind of like where this is. Everybody's is going to look a little different, and obviously if you're following along at home, you don't have to choose the same colors. Just kind of a guide if you're thinking about doing an auburn portrait. To the carrot, I'm just going to kind of fill this little area in right here. And there you have it, auburn hair. And you can go in and touch up here and there as you like. Just mess with it until it feels comfortable to you. Now I'm going to grab this color called Mud. I know, I love these color names. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to go add her eyebrows real quick. This is sort of a reddish brown color. And I'm just doing those little, kind of flick, grab and pull. And over here at the end, I'm just kind of getting a little bit longer. if you get them too thick or too thin or too spiky, you know, we can always erase them, or, you know, or you don't have to add eyebrows at all. And if they're uneven or anything, you know, this is eyebrows are tough. So be patient with yourself. I'm just kind of rushing through them. Just take your time and use a couple of colors. I'm going back to the chalk tone color. And eyebrows are always going to be just a little bit darker. Than the hair. I'm also going to add just a little bit of this on her top eye. Pull those lashes down and out. I'm not going to make them too elaborate. It's kind of a down and out. It's sort of like a sideways J. And I don't always add lashes, but since she's kind of looking down, I thought it would be a nice little frame for her face. And I'm going to just kind of darken the shadow between her lips, and just a tiny bit under the bottom lip, a little tiny bit there. When we come back tomorrow, we'll work on her leaves and we'll move forward with this little guy. And hopefully everybody's having a great day out there. Sorry this was kind of a quick one, but I was pressed for time today and I definitely wanted to get something in since we didn't get one yesterday. And, you know, the summertime is here and crazy things are happening. So I hope everybody can join me again tomorrow, and we will get started on the leaves. Everybody have a great day.